Hey, this is Kit Cabello of Harlands Media, and today we're joined here with John Beacham. He's one of the main organizers for Answer in Chicago. John, for our viewers and subscribers, what is Answer in Chicago, and how long has this organization been active currently?
Well, the Answer Coalition is a national organization, and Answer Chicago is the local branch. We have been around since right after September 11th, when we were formed to build an anti-war movement and actually a specific anti-war protest at the end of September in Washington, D.C. About 25,000 people showed up when most people thought no one was going to show up. And actually, the Answer Coalition helped kick off the global anti-war movement that happened against the war in Iraq. But we also work on acting out to stop war and end racism. So we are an anti-war group, an anti-racist group. But also, we believe domestic and international struggles of oppressed people and workers, they're all like basically the same struggle. So we do a wide variety of social justice initiatives, education, that type of stuff.
Now, there's been a growing disenfranchisement towards the two-party establishment system. Right. There's a growing a portion of Americans who really feel that they can't relate to Democrats or Republicans, and now 40% of Americans are now identifying themselves as independents. So what essentially is the People's Congress of Resistance that we filmed on our live stream on our Facebook page?
Right. Well, the political viewpoints of the population in the United States really aren't represented in government, whether it's in Washington or in City Hall here in Chicago, because there's only two parties. And those two parties really agree on a lot of policy, I mean, especially when it comes to foreign policy. And what you see right now is even more so, and for decades now, people feeling very detached from Washington, like the people who are elected don't represent them, and they don't. Congress is a club of millionaires, mostly white men. Senate, even worse. I mean, they're very wealthy people in the Senate. There are no workers. I mean, I think there's one scientist in all of Congress. It's not represented. The Congress is not representative of the people. They work in the interests of the 1% of the billionaires. And it's really the People's Congress of Resistance is all about trying to help in organizational form this resistance become a truly independent anti-establishment resistance to the dual party monopoly really of power, and challenging that power and building a united movement focused around and struggling with the most oppressed to challenge them. I mean, that's what's missing. What we feel like is missing in the country right now is an actual independent grassroots force that can stand up to Washington and get the things we need. Like working people, oppressed people, they're not getting what they need. Black Lives Matter, it changed the whole discussion in the country and in the world. And government did nothing for black people in this country. That's indicative of so much else. Native people, for the first time in decades, united. Practically all the nations, all the First Nations united around stopping the pipeline. And the government gave in to their incredible protests, but now the government's just steamrolling over them.
Now, earlier there was talk about the People's Congress Resistance. There's going to be a big conference out of state. It's going to be, it's going to be out of state. So, when is that going to happen? And essentially, how many people do you think will show up to this event?
It's September 16th and 17th, Washington, D.C., Howard University. I mean, we're expecting around 1,000 people, maybe more, from all across the country, all 50 states, resistors, people who are working in the grassroots, people from oppressed communities. And we are going to be meeting in Washington, D.C., September 16th and 17th, really to launch what we're hoping will be like a genuine mass independent resistance, independent movement.
And final question for our viewers and subscribers, where can they learn more about Answer, and where can they find out more about the event that's going to happen in September?
First of all, we're taking a van caravan to the People's Congress of Resistance, and people can find that at answerchicago.org. That's our local website, answerchicago.org. And people can also find information about the Congress of Resistance at congressofresistance.org, or search Congress of Resistance on Facebook, or Answer Chicago on Facebook, and also the Answer Coalition. If you Google that, I believe it's answercoalition.org. There's also our national website people can find. And people can contact us, the local branch, through Facebook. They can also email us at answer@chicagoanswer.net.
All right, well, that's a great note to end it on. John, thank you so much for joining Hard Lens Media. Let's all do what we can to build a better future. Peace, everyone.